Today we're going to do de-winterizing, and I have done this video in the past, and if you want to watch that one first, I will put a link over in here somewhere. It'll pop up, and you go and watch that one. But this is going to be an extra that I'm doing on things that I've kind of learned since I did my first de-winterizing. So we're going to go through a few things that I've learned, and hope this one helps you out too. It might be a little late this year because a lot of people have already de-winterized, but for my buddies up north, they'll probably still be doing this soon. So we'll go over step by step a few things that I've learned. So one thing I did learn last year, I reused my Teflon tape that I had around my anoid in my water heater, and this year I'm going to take this apart and I'm going to put new Teflon tape in there. You can get this at any hardware store. You need to put new stuff. And what you also want to do is go in here, and you'll see the threads need to be cleaned out a little bit. I'm just going to take a paper towel, clean that out real good, make sure all that stuff's out of the threads, and then put my new Teflon tape in there. So got that on there, and we'll go and install it. Now installing this, I'm not sure what the torque is supposed to be, but don't over tighten it. Just tighten it just good and snug, and then you'll come back later and make sure it doesn't leak, and you maybe have to tighten it up a little bit more. The next thing I've learned is, last time I only filled up my freshwater tank halfway full, and what happened is I ran out of water when I was trying to fill up my water heater. So this time I'm going to go almost completely full, keeping track on that because I've got this save a drop meter. Wines, Pines, and Canines, they showed me how to get one of these, and that's really been helpful. That way you know exactly how much you're putting in there. So yeah, your gauge works good there on the side, just tells you, but it only tells you full, half, and I don't really trust the gauges. So this one here, it's not exact either, but at least you get a good idea. That top of there is my gallons, 3.5 gallons. Like I say, I think it's 30 gallons. So we'll see what we can get here. We'll try to at least get about 30 gallons in there, and then we'll start our checklist on doing the de-winterization. So you'll see I'm still filling up that freshwater tank, and it's showing 2/3 on here. We want to get close to the top on that, so we'll go around there and check what the gauge says now. Now I'm not sure how accurate this is, but I just went to 22 gallons here, and that's, so I'm not sure, but I started hearing it. You can hear the sound of it actually coming up through the tube. So it's good and full now. I'm gonna stop right there. Maybe then I'd hit that zero out at the right time, but I only get 22 gallons in there. So we'll take that out, and we'll move on to the next step. So again, I already have this detailed step-by-step. I'm just gonna skip through a lot of this stuff, and I'll be going through and doing this de-winterizing. I'm using this checklist that came off the Facebook page. Basically it has a section in here at the end where you start your step-by-step with de-winterized instructions here on the end. So I kind of jumped a step on that, but like I say, it says fill fresh water with clean potable water. Let's see, line up fresh water tank inlet hose. Yep. So we're going to move on. So at this point we're going to go on and turn on our pump, and we're going to run all the different faucets. We're going to go through the cold side and then the hot side on everything, rinsing it out. And like I say, I've got it step by step. I'm not going to get into that right now with this part here. But there's a few steps. Make sure you stay at the end, because there's a few things at the end that I didn't do last time with the water heater. Had a lot of trouble with air getting in there, so we're going to try to do something different at the end and see how that works out. So stay with me. one thing I learned on when you're de-winterizing, like say you get a little bit in your gray water tank. I usually drain it out somewhere in the septic or something. Don't want to put a lot of that in there, but what I do is I leave whatever I run through the toilet, I leave it in the black water and wait until the first time I go camping. The first time I go camping, I make sure I have a dump station. That way I can dump that in there. I'm not sure, like I say, this stuff's supposed to be good for halfway decent for the environment, but I still don't want to take a chance of putting it all over the ground and messing something up. So just an idea to keep that in there and be ready to dump it the first time you go camping. So after you open up those valves on your water heater, you're filling that water heater, you want to pull up on this and make sure you're getting air out of there and until you get water. And then also you want to turn on your faucets on the inside until you get the air blown out of those. Show you here. Just get all that air out of there. I do that off and then let it catch up. You'll hear the pump kick on and off. Same thing over here, just doing the hot side. And what you don't want to do is overwork this pump in here. You want to wait until it gets, you want to open up the faucet there to kind of let that air out of there, and then like I say again, every once in a while hit that lever on the outside of the tank there. And you need to do that a few times. And then what I'm going to do, my last thing I'm going to do, which I did last year, is hooked up the city water to it and then run it a little bit and get some of that air, because first time you go camping you're going to be blowing a lot of air through that water tank till it gets all the air bubbles out of there. So that's something I've learned. So once you get everything all worked out, get all your air bubbles out of your tank, you want to check this connection here, and it's not leaking on me at all. Last year it did leak a little bit. I had to tighten it up, and that's why I put new tape on that this time. Dry that out real good. You also want to come around here and check your little drains that you drained. Make sure they're not leaking. Looks like they're dry. So that's about all I have for this video. Just as a quick extra. And like I say, if you want to see my full de-winterized video, I'll have it at the end of this video to check out. So that's all I have, and hope to see you out there camping soon.